to say, it looks amazing. And I do believe, judging by your reaction and what you said when you got back, it was utterly amazing.
Beyond amazing. Harry, I've got no words. It is, without doubt, the most amazing sport bike I've ever ridden.
And you've been doing this job a long time, so you've ridden all the sports bikes.
Yeah, anything I've ridden in the last 30 years, including some pretty exotic race bikes, they just don't come close. The level has been moved so high. It's the first bike that I've got off and thought, actually, I need to go on a diet and start doing some press-ups and stuff at home. It was just overwhelming. The way it... I mean, you're looking at 215, 220 horsepower, weighs 146 kilos dry.
That's insane.
What's that? It's lighter than a world superbike. It's insane. So even literally, I mean, we use it as a cliche, but holding on to it, trying to twist the throttle full and holding on to it down the straight, I took a lot of effort. It was quite scary. The braking at the other end, 2 laps and my arms were all jelly and trying to support myself. No, I was taking little sort of breathers, pretending to play with all the traction control buttons. In fact, I was just going, I don't want to go on the straight again. I don't want to go on the straight again.
I mean, I remember before you went, you said, we're only getting 20-minute sessions. I think that was even too much for you, wasn't it?
There was 3 20-minute sessions, of which I needed 2 or 3 minutes from each session. Yeah, it was about it. What an amazing piece of kit, really.
Let's just talk about the track quickly, because Estoril, it's not a common track for launches to be held at, but I suspect it was quite good because of that long main straight and a nice mixture of corners everywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely, you're spot on. BMW quite clever there. I mean, on the negative side, it's got one of the world's worst, tightest chicanes, but that shows off the lightness of the bike, because you could zip through there with no effort at all. Got the monster straight, which allowed you to try and get all the red lights lit up on the dashboard.
Did you?
Yeah, once or twice.
In the second?
Yeah, but I did brake. Immediately, it lit up in 6th gear.
It's like a panic light.
It's got a fast kink down the back, which is legendary, and you can get through there sort of 3rd, 4th gear flat out in this thing. Yes, thank God it's got really good electronics to look after it. Estoril was a great choice, but I was quite intrigued to find out they've actually been to a lot of European tracks in the testing and development stage of this bike. So I got a chance to catch up with Christian Gonshaw, who is the designer of the HP4 Race.
Overall, we did roughly 40 to 50,000 kilometers just on racetrack to be really sure that we bring carbon fiber technology to the next level, on the level we want to achieve, which means perfect balanced bike, easy to ride for everybody. And to get this result, it was important to put several riders on it and use a lot of different tracks. So we did a lot of testing for sure due to winter time in Spain, Cartagena, Almeria, Jerez, Valencia, Aragon, just to get a mixture of different tracks, especially Aragon for hard braking, Jerez for fast and bumpy corners.
Look, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, but often engineers are just engineers and then they hand it over to a test rider, but he rides as well.
Well, he more than rides. He came past me like I was looking for parking. He's 37-year-old, he's small like a racer, but he's properly fast, yeah. So it definitely helps him, you know, when he can understand what the bike's doing rather than just relying on all that telemetry data and, you know, the word of 1 or 2 test riders. So, yeah, it's another plus factor, really.
Let's look at this bike then. The big thing is the carbon. So exactly what is carbon on this bike?
OK, well, the most important thing is the frame. It saves about 4 kilos, which doesn't sound a lot, but is a lot when you consider that the original Alley one only weighs about 11. So its primary function is to save weight, and it's formed with this whole new ununderstandable technology, obviously. I'm never going to get my head around it, but let's speak to Christian again. He can give us a better idea.
Well, carbon fiber is a kind of technology which needs a lot of know-how to use it the correct way. And like OEM started 25 years ago, changing steel frames into aluminium frames, which took quite a time to get the perfect result. It also takes time to use carbon fiber technology in the right way. And BMW Group started for sure with the car i3 and i8 to introduce this technology produced in a special way, RTM, resin transfer molding, into the market. And using this background from our car colleagues was the base to put it into a motorcycle, but achieving the same result in a motorcycle is much more challenging than on the car side, because the rider feels so much more immediately. So it took us some time in the pre-development to understand the material, the options the material gives us, and the technology offers to us. And after we understood all this puzzle, it was quite clear that we can achieve a very fascinating result for the customer in combination of perfect tolerances, perfect weight, stiffness like you want, and at the end, for sure, a premium material which makes the bike look unique.
It's quite interesting to see, isn't it, that the technology has been borrowed from their car division, the i8 type of thing. So it's not always bikes leading the way, is it? We can use the four-wheel guys for some inspiration.
There's one glaring difference in the frame. Okay, the frame is carbon, the swing arm's aluminium.
Yeah,
Did they run out of cash or something?
BMW, I doubt it. I noticed the same thing and asked the question, and apparently, because of the technical side of the swing arm, where all the inserts and all the bits and pieces where it mounts to the shock and the rear of the bike and all that sort of thing, that would have to be aluminium anyway. It would have to be metal inserts.
So it wouldn't really be that much lighter.
It's not saving that much.
Yeah.
And interestingly, if you have a carbon fibre swing arm, that's obviously incredibly strong. If the bike does crash and bounces through the kitty litter, then that is so strong that the swing arm can then transfer the forces through to the frame. And then you don't know if your frame's been damaged, and you don't want to go down that route. So basically, I mean, you're not talking about a duffer of an item either. This is a proper world superbike, aluminium, perfectly crafted, really lightweight swing arm. So yeah, it seemed obvious to me. Same with the petrol tank, actually. I thought, why don't you have a nice... But again, I think it's safety in the aluminium one. They just... BMW... They like to show the bling, but they also like to keep the engineering pretty spot on.
Yeah.
The level of components on this thing is absolutely amazing, and we've barely even scratched the surface yet. We'll do more scratching right after this short ad break.